Well, I'm just going to key in on something that you used, your verbiage.
Okay.
You used the term that I hope they get AIDS.
Yeah.
And you used the term cocksucker.
Okay.
This kind of ties into a story that I read this week.
Okay.
That there is a gay California landscape architect who claims to be civil rights leader's grandnephew accused of spreading HIV on purpose.
Wow. Who's the civil rights leader?
Cesar Chavez.
Cesar Chavez?
Yeah, he was a civil rights leader who tried to organize the illegal Mexicans in California, the migrant farm workers.
And they're saying he had the HIV?
No. His grandnephew
had the HIV and was spreading it on purpose?
Yeah, he's a gay California landscape architect.
And also used to sing in Badlands.
That's funny you should say that because that kind of came to mind.
Oh, nice.
A gay California landscape architect who claims to be the grandnephew of civil rights leader Cesar Chavez is accused of intentionally spreading HIV to others.
Right.
Thomas Guerrera, who also goes by the name of Ashton Chavez, is alleged to have purposely infected at least 24 men in and around the San Diego area.
Wow.
And get this.
Okay.
Hundreds more could be at risk, it's claimed.
Hundreds more.
Hundreds more.
Now, how are these guys getting that much action?
Well, let me finish the story, and I got a thought on this.
Okay.
As the reportedly promiscuous 29-year-old allegedly sought to spread the deadly virus to as many victims as possible.
Okay.
A San Diego City Attorney Office report claims that Guerrera would text and email men to say that he was HIV negative.
Okay.
Then, after having sex with them, he would allegedly boast to the other pals. Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
You're dead now.
Fuck you, pal. Know what that is in your fucking blood? That's more than my seed.
Right.
Ugh.
About how he infected them.
Oh my God.
Investigators reportedly found hundreds of text messages on his cell phone.
Okay.
A man who says he was infected by Guerrera spoke to CBS 8 News saying he wanted to warn others about his alleged actions.
Okay.
His behavior needs to stop, he said.
Yeah, you think?
Another alleged victim told Fox 5 that the sexual sociopath doesn't understand the impact he's having in his sexual partner's lives.
Really?
Well, I got comment on that.
All right.
Guerrera has been charged with one count of willfully exposing himself as an infectious individual to another person. It is a misdemeanor offense with a maximum sentence of 6 months and $1,000 fine.
Wait a minute. So purposely giving somebody a deadly disease only gets you 6 months?
And $1,000.
Jesus.
Well, you're not going to live to spend it anyway, so fuck you.
Yeah, but if I purposely shoot you in the leg, purposely shoot you in a method that's not going to kill you, but I purposely shoot you, I'm getting more than 6 months and $1,000 fine.
Well, true.
But I can fucking give you a disease that will kill you, and I only get 6 months and $1,000.
That's it.
Wow. Good Lord.
But his original accuser, who dated Guerrera for several months, said he had hoped his added allegations would boost the charge to a felony, punishable by 8 years in prison.
That sounds a little better, but even that.
Okay, and this goes back to your question about shooting somebody or using a weapon.
Yeah.
His weapon is using his body to infect these people.
Right.
Why? I don't know why he's doing this. He's forever changing these people's lives, and these people have no clue what's happening to them.
Right.
Guerrera is scheduled to appear in court on Tuesday. The attorney's office said an investigation into whether more charges should be filed was ongoing. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill, boys. It's Tim James who should be shot in the leg.
Okay, Tim. Well, knowing someone about shooting seed in somebody's ass, what's going on, Tim?
I'm just ringing to say good day. How you going?
Good day there, Tim. Have you got some shrimp on the Barbie?
Well, mate, if you guys were here, there'd be more than shrimp on the Barbie.
Well, what can we do for you this week, Tim?
Not much. I won't take up much of your time. I'm just ringing to check in and say good day because you guys have been off for a couple of weeks.
Well, thanks for calling.
Yeah. Hope it's all going well.
All right, Tim. Thanks so much for your call.
All right. Thanks so much. Hail and kill.
Hail and kill, Tim.
Job.
Jeez. That was it. I'm just saying good day.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
All right.
Nothing like interrupting a story midway to say, hey, how you guys doing?
Right.
Thanks.
He is the Australian version of John Rufo.
Yeah, he is. Or no, John Rufo's the Australian or the American version of Tim.
Right.
Tim's been doing it long before John.
That is true. All right. Well, here's my thoughts on this. Several analysis come to mind.
Okay.
First of all, if this story is true, if there's any merit to this story, number one, the first thing that comes to mind when I think about this story, in that the quote-unquote hundreds of men have been infected by this guy.
Yeah.
That tells me that gay men do not use protection of any kind.
Right. How's this guy look? Does he look like
he's a young, fairly in shape, Spanish looking guy.
He doesn't look homeless or anything.
No, not at all.
All right.
So my point here is, if this guy is actively fucking hundreds of men in the ass,
yeah,
I guess because I don't know enough about the gay community aside from their activities according to these stories.
Okay.
This guy, these guys, whomever they might be, obviously they don't use protection at all.
No, doesn't sound like it.
So basically, this guy can text another guy and say, hey, hook up with me and I'll fuck you in the ass and blow a load in your ass.
All right.
I mean, if you want to put it in the very bare terms.
Right. Well, that is what's going on.
Okay. I'm just, again, I don't know enough about this, but just from reading this story, you can only draw so many conclusions.
Sure.
So that's one of the conclusions that I've drawn from this story.
Okay.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Don't you think there'd be just as many heterosexual people not using protection as there would gay people?
Yeah, but it's not typical. It not saying it doesn't happen, but it's not typical that AIDS runs rampant through the heterosexual community.
Yeah, well, you've got the statistics in front of you. I don't, but
Well, Tim, let's play this out. Tim, how many guys did you have sex with? Roughly.
We've gone through this before, about 4 or 5, I think.
Okay,
that's
four or
fine.
five.
4 or 5. How many of them the first time you fucked them did you use a rubber?
Always.
Always.
So you always use protection.
So you were a responsible fag.
Yeah, well, I did with that, and oh God, I can't believe we're going here again.
Well, you're the guy who brought this up, Tim.
What?
You're the one who brought this up to our... Go ahead.
the only time I ever had anal sex, I used protection.
Okay, that's fine.
And like Scottish Tom, it was me giving it to the guy, not the guy giving it to me.
Well, Tim, but can you get AIDS from swallowing a load?
I don't think so, and I never have anyway.
Well, we're not asking you if you have. We're just what you know about it.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, and that's what I understand as well. I understand that oral sex, you don't transmit AIDS unless you have like an open sore in your mouth.
I've got to ring you back. I've got to ring you guys back to family stew.
Yeah, well, this isn't good family talk.
Yeah, Tim.
Jeez.
Put your daughter on to fucking solve this problem, Tim.
So that's the only conclusion I can draw from this story.
Yeah.
That if this guy, quote unquote, as the story says, infected hundreds.
See, I'm still lost on how can you get AIDS from sticking your dick, from coming in a guy's ass, but not in his mouth?
Well, because typically, and this is what I understand, that during anal sex, that there's a certain amount of bleeding involved.
Ugh.
It doesn't mean that it's like a bloodbath. It's just that, from what I understand, that there's a certain amount of blood vessels being ruptured during the process, which allows the virus to get into your system.
Do we really need to have all this hot talk?
No. But that's what I've read.
Okay.
So, but my point is that this just goes to show you that even after the big AIDS epidemic of the 80s, these people who choose to live that lifestyle have learned nothing.
Nothing at all, apparently.
And they will randomly allow a guy unprotected to just rail him in the tailpipe. That's the only conclusion I can draw from this story.
Yeah, I know. It's nuts.
I mean, I don't know that as fact, but if you go by what the story says, he texted with gay men. Obviously,
I just wonder if this is more new age.
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what? I mean, I have some friends that are gay, and they're all older, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Mature. They're mature.
They're my age, or my cousin is a couple years older than me, and my other friend Chance is older than me as well. And these guys are not. All these guys, none of them are the fucking run around foofy fags. You know, they're all with like one dude, and that's it.
Right.
So they're all, you know, I mean, other than the fact that it's fucking cock on cock, you know, I mean, they're ultimately living the same as any other couple would, where it's kind of monogamous type thing. But I honestly think it's very much like these new, you know, like the way it is at the colleges now, where fucking chicks are, even in high schools, chicks are just passed around and fucking sucking 15 dicks at a party and whatever. You know, I think this is actually more modern new age stuff that's probably propping up than longer term gay guys. Well, I don't think it, what I'm saying is I don't think that it is a long term. We're starting to talk about the 80s. I don't think this is a 30-year problem. I think it's more of a new problem coming up from these fucking newer, younger kids that have no fucking sense of responsibility or control right now.
37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
You know, I mean, you don't think so?
Well, my point is we have not learned anything from the past. I guess it goes back to that old saying that those who choose to forget history are bound to repeat it.
Right, sure.
And I've told stories here on the Classic Metal Show that back in the 80s when I was in my 20s and I was propositioned by various girls over the years that I turned them down just for the fear of not knowing where they've been or who they've been with or what they might be carrying.
Sure.
You know, and you, on the other hand, have brought stories to light that, man, I'd fuck anything that allowed me to, you know.
Jan Terry.
but the point is,
right,
back then, as a heterosexual male who had the opportunity to score with a lot of different chicks because I worked in a nightclub, I passed on those opportunities because of the fear of the threat of AIDS.
Right.
These guys, according to this story, they apparently don't have that same concern.
No, they have no fear.
So basically, and again, this goes back to a moral issue for some people.
Right.
But some people who have this viewpoint of the gay community, and this is not saying that I think this of all the gays, but they think that they're very immoral people and that they'll basically fuck anything.
Right.
Well, if you believe the story as it's written, that seems to be the case.
Yeah, well, at least there's a few hundred that are living that way, all in that neighborhood.
But it's this one guy. He's apparently able to hook up with just about a different dude a night. I mean,
oh yeah, if this guy can get a phone number, he can get his cock in your ass.
That's my point.
That's crazy talk there.
So when people have a dim view of the gay community, oftentimes the stereotype probably falls within the parameters of what this story is depicting.
Right. So what you're saying basically is if you have a real fear of getting fucked in the ass, get a private number. Right?
Well, no, my point is that this guy, or this story rather, not specifically this guy, but the way that this story is written, this story confirms the revulsion that a lot of people or the anti-gay people might have toward the gay community, because it's just like, those guys are very immoral. They'll fuck anyone in the ass.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And that's my point. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill, boys.
All right, Motorhome, spit it out.
That is how it is with the gays.
Well, I don't know that. Well, do you know a lot of gays?
Yeah, I know a few, actually.
Okay.
My cousin's roommate owns an escort agency, and my cousin's a girl. Her roommate's a man, which is gay, and absolutely.
So
I mean, his client he uses a rubber for, but the guy goes out and gets fucked constantly.
Wait a minute. Stop. He goes out and gets fucked constantly, as in he's the catcher, not the pitcher?
Both. He's whatever, a both.
So
he does both.
So he'll take it and give it depending on what his client wants.
Exactly. Well, not just the client. I mean, he lives aside from being a male prostitute, he's got a very crazy sex life. Like, it's totally different than at least how I would live my life.
All right. Well, how do you know this? Have you had these open discussions?
Absolutely. He's totally honest. I met the guy when I was about 20, and I never knew an open fag before. And he just said, got any questions? Ask. So, like, I hit him up with tons of stuff.
So does he have any issue with you referring to him as an open fag?
Not at all. Matter of fact, he used to come and stay at my granny's house. And my granny would say, here, Jack, his name's Jack, here's some fag food. And it would be, preserves and shit that grannies make. Like, he's a real awesome guy, right? Like, even my granny called him a fag.
Nice. So this guy tells you, okay, I get that he does the prostitution thing, but you're saying he has an active sex life too. How does he?
Yeah.
How does he hook up? Does he just go into a bar and pick
Dude.
anybody?
Not necessarily, but like he's got a rooftop apartment with where the rest of the roof is his balcony, basically, and it's huge. He has the best parties ever. Like, the gays, they know how to live. I hate to say it, but they know how to live. His parties are awesome, full of fags for him. Actually, tons of girls for me to look at, because I'm not trusting any of the girls Jack hangs with, but... But
so how
like
many?
that,
Okay, so you're at one of these parties. How many people are at the party?
oh shit, there's got to be 50 minimum. Like he's
All right,
got
so there's
this
50.
huge.
How many of these fucking pipe puffers is Jack banging in one night?
At least a couple of you guys. They're just a lot different. Like Jack is so open about it. He talks about eating some guy's asshole out in front of my mom.
Ugh.
Like, yeah, it's disgusting. And my mom sort of cringes a bit, but
She cringes a bit.
yeah, she and gives me the eye like, get Jack out of here.
Can your mom
But-
relate to these stories any? Does she do some ass eating too?
Awesome, Chris, but I don't know.
Well, maybe she told you. I don't know. I mean, you're having your other buddy over telling stories about eating ass. Maybe your mom shared. I don't know. That seems logical.
Yeah, no, Mom doesn't share that with me, but she's quite
Does that
liberal.
seem like a crazy
So-
question,
so-
Neeley?
No, not at all.
Did I say it was crazy? I thought it was funny, but
Holy shit.
but no.
Okay. So basically what you've learned from your acquaintance or friend is that gay men are very promiscuous and they'll fuck anything.
Yeah, they are. And as a matter of fact, I have another example of that. The ex
All right.
there, she was the school teacher. She had one of those dudes that looks like a girl but has a cock. Well, he had every fucking
she-male.
disease there.
A transgender?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he or she, whatever, had every fucking disease there was. All from, just fucking anything. Well, there's another example. But anyway, boys, that's all I got on that. Hail and kill. Fuck you. Hand job.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
We learned about Motorhome's anal cave friend Jack,
Right?
and we're learning that gay guys will fuck 100 guys in a day,
Yeah, easily, according to the story anyway.
according to the story. Wow.
So
This is quite the conversation.
so this it's just the fact that this guy, this young guy, if you believe it or not,
Right.
knowingly is HIV positive,
Sure.
and he's just out there just spreading it around, as it were.
Right. Sure.
And now he's arrested, and he could be charged anywhere from a misdemeanor to a felony
Sure.
because of his knowingly having AIDS and not disclosing it, and
Right.
But the thing is some of the responsibility needs to fall on his quote unquote victims.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you read the story, the victims are hapless, like they had no choice at all.
Yeah, like he pinned him down and fucked him in the ass.
Yeah, well, basically, because if you read the verbiage here,
Right.
his weapon is using his body to infect these people. I don't know why he's doing this. He's forever changing these people's lives, and these people have no clue what's happening to them.
Oh, they have a clue, all right.
That's my point. They have no clue what's happening to them.
Well, they know that they're getting fucked in the ass.
And they don't think that there's any risk involved in this?
Apparently not.
That's ridiculous. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
I remember reading in a magazine, it was actually Rolling Stone, about probably over 10 years ago, but I say Rolling Stone so as not to, so as to qualify it as being an article that was not unfriendly to gays, if you know what I mean.
Right. You're saying Rolling Stone is a liberal publication.
That and just one that's very friendly to gays.
Well,
it's a fag rag.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, the article was about a disturbing trend in the gay community, where these gay guys were, this certain segment of gay society was very, almost obsessed with getting AIDS. Getting it, so they could be part of this special community almost.
Really?
Yeah,
they were chasing the bug. I think that might have been.
That wasn't
the
that
title
long
of the
ago
article.
either. That was less than 10 years ago.
I think it was like 2002-ish.
Yeah, it was a trending thing. I remember this.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
Fucked up, and they were talking to this one guy, and he was like, "I think it'll be the most special gift that a person can give me."
What? Giving them AIDS?
Yeah.
Getting AIDS. They wanted the AIDS.
Oh, jeez.
Because
yeah,
that was like there was something about they saw it as like the definitive separator of themselves from the rest of society or some shit like that.
I think one guy thought it would really, really bond him with the person that gave it to him.
Okay. Good luck with that.
It'll bond the box shut when they bury him.
Sure.
Yeah, it's I totally don't fucking get it. But to be somewhat fair, there was a guy in New York who got arrested for giving HIV knowingly to a bunch of women about 20 years ago. Also,
did he sing for Badlands?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I was just asking.
I think he may have been,
Oh, my.
I'm imitating Neeley.
You can't say that on this show.
There.
Yeah.
You can't say that on this show. We're on iHeartRadio now.
Right.
We no longer do racial humor.
Sure.
Well, gee. Okay, then. What else am I supposed to do?
Now I'm at a loss. I got nothing left to talk about.
Awesome.
Wow. Damn.
Darn.
I'm all busted up over that. No, that was really all I had anyway.
All right. Fair enough.
Fuck you, pal.
So anyway, I thought I'd bring that to our attention since you were using such colorful language.
Well, since we are talking cocksuckers and ass fuckers, did you see that Michael Sam did not make the Rams today?
No, I did not. The 53-man roster did not include him.
He was cut.
So the openly gay football player did not make the team.
Nope. And within minutes of him being announced as not making
the only reason I got cut is because I came out as gay.
He didn't say that. But Glad was out saying about what a travesty this was.
Sure.
Blah, 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 blah. And it's funny because then you look on Facebook and half the fucking people are right there saying, oh, he fucking played good enough to make the team. He had 3 sacks in the preseason.
Sure he did.
So what?
Yep.
Here's what people don't realize. Let's take 2 players that are equally I don't think that the fact that he sucks cock is the issue. I think the real issue is the same exact thing, and I equate Michael Sam with Tim Tebow to be exactly the same. Their skill level is not good enough to justify keeping them on the team when their personal lives cause problems, cause attention to be taken away from the team.
True.
And that's why I say Tebow's the same way. And different thing, obviously, Tebow with all his religious nonsense. But the fact was, if Tim Tebow could play football like fucking Tom Brady, Tim Tebow would be on a team.
That is true.
And Tim Tebow would be they'd be willing to deal with all that press shit because he would play like a fucking Hall of Famer. But, and in Michael Sam's case, this motherfucker better be Lawrence Taylor. Because if he's not playing like Lawrence Taylor, if he's playing like the fourth string fucking defensive end, and As recently as last week, you got issues where players are getting pissed off and going to Twitter, tweeting about how they're annoyed with this whole fucking story about Michael Sam. Well, that makes him worse than the other guy that's also a fourth string, player, as far as winning or losing games.
Right.
Because he's a distraction. So he gets cut. People need to just fucking accept the reality of it. The guy wasn't good enough. No NFL coach is going to purposely hurt their team. It just isn't going to happen.
Yeah. If a guy could play and he was a asset to this team, he's going to be there regardless of his personal proclivities or whatever it is.
Exactly. Now, Nathan from Kentucky hit on the head. ESPN was reporting on his shower habits last week. Definitely a distraction.
Yeah.
Definitely that's a distraction.
Why does anybody even need to know about that, and why is it even a public concern?
But if this guy could play football like nobody's fucking business, if he's the second coming of Michael Strahan, do you think he doesn't make the team? If he was that good, if he was a great player, even if he wasn't a great player but was a solid player, like one of these guys that's almost making the Pro Bowl every year but doesn't make the Pro Bowl, you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
If he was that good of a player and this ESPN thing came up, do you think they'd cut him?
No.
No. The fact is he's not a good player. And you add in the fact that he's a marginal at best player that comes with a ton of baggage. Nobody wants to deal with that shit.
Sure.
It's the same with Tebow. Tebow was a marginal to below average talent. And then you add in the fact that everywhere they go, they got to have a personal they have to have a personal fucking press conference for the fucking third string quarterback. That's ridiculous. So they said, fuck you, get out of here. Go fucking call games or something.
Right.
Idiots.
I agree.
But Michael Sam, he could probably play on the Steelers.
Sure. They cut a better guy than him today.
Who?
Oh, what the hell's that guy's name?
It doesn't really matter. It's the Steelers.
Yeah. Well, what is it? A week from today?
Yeah, a week from Thursday. They have that whole middle of the week fucking startup nonsense.
Well, we'll see. We'll see who's be talking about the Steelers next week.
Hey, I'm in. I have not gotten a no yet that I won't be at the game.
Sure.
I might be in Pittsburgh for that game, actually.
Nice.
Well, I'm not looking forward to that if I am. Browns look really poor. They really do look poor.
So what makes this season any different than any other season?
Expectation, I guess. There was going into the season where, and not because of fucking Manziel. I fucking hate that douche. But just a lot of the defensive players that they signed and whatnot, it just looked like it was going to be good. But, man, they look like a fucking bag of shit in all four of those preseason games. I mean, a total bag of shit.
Well, they're just in rebuilding.
Yeah, whatever. By this fucking point, they could have rebuilt the whole city. I mean, literally the whole city, not just the fucking football team.